On Saturday, April 25th, at about 2:30 a.m., Cheryl Ann Hughes was tapping her foot angrily as she waited at the corner of 2nd and Fremont Streets. She glanced repeatedly at her watch. The young man she was currently living with, Robert Lee Harmer, was supposed to be picking her up for breakfast and then a ride home. Harmer was nowhere in sight. He was at that moment quietly puffing away at a joint with some members of a local rock group, oblivious to the time. Cheryl Ann Hughes, 23, 5 feet 5.5 inches tall, 118 shapely pounds, clairol blonde hair and light brown eyes. Swing shift change girl at the classic Gold Dust Saloon, a gaudy Western-styled casino built when Vegas was younger, smaller, and, some say, friendlier. Cheryl Ann Hughes, tired, hungry, disgusted at having waited 25 minutes for a ride, was now mad enough to walk the 8 blocks to the small frame house she shared with Harmer just off the corner of 9th and Bridger. Cheryl Ann Hughes, now walking east on Fremont Street, past Schwartz Brothers' men's shop, determined to make it home in time for the 3 a.m. movie and a bowl of chili, but still keeping an eye out for Harmer. Cheryl Ann Hughes, alone with her irritation, now crossing Las Vegas Boulevard, having just passed the white plastic dazzle of the latest Orange Julius stand, its 3 male customers giving her a brief, appraising glance. Cheryl Ann Hughes, a girl with less than 15 minutes to live. While the Hughes girl was headed to her doom, the Las Vegas Police Department, ever vigilant, conducted a narco raid on the apartment her boyfriend was grooving in along with his 6 companions. Thus, handcuffed, fingerprinted, booked, and incarcerated by 3:30 that a.m., Harmer was never on the list of suspects. In due course, this being his first local bust, Harmer was politely invited to leave town and the charges were quietly dropped. He has since disappeared. It was just about 3 a.m. when Cheryl Ann turned down Bridger at 7th across from the northeast side of the Las Vegas High School's main hall. She went into a dog trot at 8th Street, which T-ends into Bridger. If she had been a little faster, she might have reached 9th Street. She slowed just past the alley entrance to search her purse for her key and was neatly and silently lifted off her feet from behind and dragged kicking into the alley. Her initial panic passed as she was pulled into the gloom, and she remembered her karate lessons. Not overly enthusiastic about what she thought was impending rape, she lifted her right foot and brought it down sharply on her assailant's right instep, raking his shin bone on the way down as she'd been taught. At the same time, she twisted slightly to the right and slammed her right elbow into her attacker's middle. The effects were not what they should have been. The grip across her throat tightened like a vice, and in seconds, she was unconscious. Not a sound was heard and her body wasn't found until almost 4 hours later, when 2 hefty minions of the Sagebrush State Disposal Service found it half-wedged into a garbage can 30 feet down the alley. The police department was duly notified. They arrived and inspected the can's contents and, in turn, notified the coroner's office and sent for an ambulance. Since, in the cursory police examination at the scene, there were no marks of violence save the bruise across the girl's throat, it was assumed she had died routinely of strangulation. So the body was carted off to County General Hospital's Pathology Theater D. The following account was reconstructed from what Kolchak could tell me of the standard procedure for autopsies, and from the conclusions he reached based on later incidents in this report. J.R.